ethnicity, where you come from, what would you say? What would you say? What would you consider yourself as? What would you consider our people as a whole? Yeah, what would you consider us as a whole? If you wanted to identify us as a whole. Like it's Chinese, it's Caucasian, what would we be identified as?
White devils and green elephants.
Alright, okay, let's deal with that. How can we be identified as African American? And African American actually means two lineages of a white man. Because still super Africanus is a so-called white man and conquered Africa and named it after itself. And the American Constitution is another so-called white man that conquered this land and named it after itself. That's two lineages of a white man that makes no sense. And then before then, they called our people what? They called us Afro-American. Let's deal with that. Afro is a what? Afro is a hairstyle. And I just told you, American means, right? And there's no way in hell that we could be black. I have on black. I'm the darkest brother out here. And my skin color says my face color is my color. Never ever be black. That's a color. And if you look up the word black in the dictionary, it means everything bad or wrong. It means everything dark and evil, so that they never be black. They gave us those names and all those different terms, so that we never know who we were. But then we coming out, we're waking up, we're learning these last days that we are what? Look, true chosen people of God. The real Jews, because when you come with dealing with the word suffix ish, like they call themselves Jewish, it's a wish. The suffix ish means to be pertaining to or something like. Maybe I can call you boyish, I can call you girlish, I can call you childish, but that's not what you're not. So how can you be Jewish? That's not their nationality, that's not their culture. That's what was stolen from us. That's like when we go into the scriptures and we go into the history. That's why we brought over here enslavement. Because they had to be taking our nationality and all our history away from us. We saw the real quick thing, and I could prove that they came and they stripped the people. They stripped us and took us from the program of the land. Took us from. You give me Deuteronomy. You give me Deuteronomy 28:54.
What about the Sea peoples? Didn't they stop the first annihilation of the Egyptians? The Sea peoples? Because they were a brutal force that went against the Egyptians at one point in time.
Sea people? Who's talking about?
The Sea peoples. They had a war with a group of peoples that wanted to overthrow the Egyptians. Go look it up. They were a fierce force. The Egyptians barely survived them. They were fierce. They don't know where they came from, but according to this, that was a fierce force. And they wanted to overthrow the Egyptians to take their land. They almost
Book of Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They that hate thee, they who I hate us, the other nations, they hated our people. They did what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Had the crafty counsel, read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against our hidden ones. Remember I told you, all this history is hid. This is none of the truth. They will never teach us none of this, but they took it hidden. Read.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Because it's come and cut them off from being a nation. Read.
That the name Israel may be no more in remembrance.
But the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Now you good, you stop right there, King. So that's what I'm saying. There be no more remembrance. That we don't never know that we Israel, that we never know we chosen. They said cut them off and had this information. That's why they were so adamant that they didn't want us to read in slavery. Because they already know a nigga with a brain is way more dangerous than a nigga with a gun. Don't you agree? All right then. If we keep you ignorant and we keep you dumb, we keep you want to hate and love hate each other, then we can always keep you dumb in the past. Mental captivity is the worst captivity that we are still in to this day. Because why? Because we listen to the music that we listen to, the influences, the drugs, the neighborhoods that we grow up in, and that's why they keep us here. This is called gentrification. Because if we grow up in this area and we grow up around here, then we can never figure out how to get up out of this place. You guys want to get up out of it because it's always a down and frustration. But when you go into their neighborhoods look better than ours. Everything is from the moment that we're born, we're constantly fed psychological bullshit. Give me that Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54.
Tell me it's not real right here, bro.
You've been going to sins. So that the man that is tender among you is very delicate.
Hey, listen to this, brother. So the man that's tender, delicate among you, like how I treat you like we were brother, we love, like I just said, we want to really treat each other. Read.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother. Black on black violence. Read.
towards the wife of his bosom,
So the wife of his bosom, domestic violence, read.
and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
So the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Single parent homes. That's us. That's a curse that was bestowed upon the children of Israel. And then they'll say that we have to come up out of these curses in order to really wake up and come back into the God. That's what the scripture says, wake up now, because Babylon is at hand. The end is here. Don't you feel it, brother? Don't you see that what was going on? This COVID-19, and how you see that the world is actually changing? And people, and shit is getting worse and worse, and people are going crazy. And then they actually really realizing what's going on in the place. Don't nobody actually really have the actual answer. Most people don't know that they're taking up the time. But these are the signs of the time. Okay, my greatest tell us, like greatest tell us all the time with each other. We living in our last days. And they actually see in the last days, we live in a holy, right before our eyes. You got to speak what you do. You got something? You got something for me?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know so.
That's what we have to do, so now it's time to come back.
This is Christ speaking. This is book of Matthew 15, verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. That's what they're doing out here, man. I said, but in vain they do worship me.
In vain, we see that people, we worship in vain. We don't worship in truth. Because we believe in white Jesus. We all know Christ is black, right? You know that, right?
Let's get that.
You know, Christ is like, when they give us a big they give us a man with blonde hair and blue eyes, but we all know that Christ looks like us. We need a revelation, man.
Right there, Rocky.
Give me Daniel 7 and 9.
Okay, come. This is the book of Revelation. We're going to go verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, like one unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Give him a flyer.
and the girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire. Verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
There you go, bro. Read that again for me, son.
Yeah, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Now, what color is brass, bro? Brown. Brown. And if we take it and we burn it in the furnace, you're looking at the feet, right? When your feet the same color as your body. And if your feet is brown, it's the color of brass, and it's burnt in the furnace. You take something that's brown and you put it in the furnace, it's gonna do what? It's gonna make it darker, right? So when they get a blind man with they get a white man with blind man blue eyes from there. But the Bible gives a clear description of Christ of what he looks like. Right then and there. Hell, wool, and the skin of the remnant of brown and brass. That sounds like me and you, right? Your hair woollier than mine. Like locks. That's how Christ said here. It's like locks. They would never teach you that. Give me Daniel 7 and 9, King. That's how you doing, bro?
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld, to the thrones were cast down. The Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow.
His garment was white as snow. Go ahead, now listen to this, bro.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
The hair of his head like the what?
Pure wool.
Pure wool. Read.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
Like the fiery flame. Look, you grabbing your beard. That's wool. So that's a clear depiction of what the people in the scriptures look like. Songs of Solomon 1 and 5, Jeremiah 4 and 22. I mean, was that my people are real Jews are blacker to the ground. Give me that one. And this Solomon giving a clear depiction of what he looked like. Everybody in these scriptures, everybody in the Bible was people come. They don't never let it last. Moses was black, David was black, Aaron was black, Solomon was black. We all the people of color. And then we'll teach that. So they brought us over into slavery. That was our first. It's simple as our heritage. African American, we just the everyday people. We didn't actually realize that we are people. That we are actually real.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon. I'm gonna get this up real close to you, Lord. I am black, but comely.
I am black but comely. I am dark but handsome.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Gadar.
As a test of God, and God is a wonderful fact. And basically, he let the lady know, all the daughters of Jerusalem, look at me, baby, I'm dark but handsome. He got how we look. Give me the other scripture. Are you ready for me, Ken?
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourned,
Judah mourned.
and against their of language, they are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up.
The real Jews, they are black unto the ground. They was letting us know under the depiction of the people. That's why Hitler was so adamant on killing them off when they was. That's why he was so adamant killing them off in Jewish times. He was trying to kill the fake Jews off, but he was killing them off. He said, how you use Jerusalem black and come back white and come and try to steal another land that does not belong to you. This is not our home now, but this is our land, our captivity. You don't even feel free in this land, do you? How can you feel free in the land when you feel free in the man? How can you feel free in a man when you still slay your brother every day in the street? Like it's nothing.
Right, let me get on.
Like they did George Floyd. Go ahead and get the scripture for me now. And they did George Floyd. Do you actually think that was, what's the name, how they did Trayvon Martin? How they did other boy Mike Green? How they did all these other brothers? How they did Cedric Bland? You think they'll do a white woman? They'll do a white woman like that? Why is there 64,000 of our black women missing in America today? Well, they don't say nothing. When there's one victim come up missing, it's a whole epidemic. I know it. You know that?
Come on, this
What's
is
the sign, bro?
Oh yeah, watch the sign, bro. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11. We'll go up to verse 4. Thus saith the Lord, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Exactly. That's like the Trayvon Martin. All these people that's enslaved us and what they've been here, what? Not guilty.
Not guilty.
And it's like that, the scripture, that's what they hold themselves not guilty. They will never be held accountable for the actions that they do to our people. And they look at us like we're nothing. They look at us like we're low. They feel like our lives are worth because we killing each other our own stuff. They don't even love their own brother. So why should we care about them? They don't give a fuck. They don't just want to call themselves not guilty. But they actually know who we are. That's why you see the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. And you see that's why they killed Fred Hampton at 21 years old. His brother was not but 21 when he died. And they locked him up when he was 18. And the motherfucker specifically said that we have to kill him. And they said, why we gotta kill him? He only 18 years old. He said, 21 years, he said, because if we don't kill him, he's gonna produce 30 more like him. And 30 more men like him gonna produce what? 30 more like him, there's gonna be an army. That's the whole reason why they took out the Black Panther Party. Because they knew we was building up our neighborhoods and being real men on the front line.
Powerful. I grew up with the Black Panther. I'm from Chi-Town. I'm from the project. Washington, London. I've been to this place. I was born here. You know, I did it. I did it. Stay there. Do that moves and shit. Come on. Don't know who they God is.
And the reason that was the reason why they took him out. Because they know one man should have that much power. All right, that's a black man with a brain, but that can move a crowd of people. He's more feared. That's why they killed Chapman. That's why they killed Malcolm X. But he told us that to separate from them. He told us that the white that to mess with them people. That's why they did. Fred Hampton was free to our own community. We had our own, we did our own economic system and everything. What they had to come to and destroy because they never had it. They always wanted to depend on the government. That's why they give our women Section 8. That's why they give them food stuff. That's why they give them all this other stuff so that we're not in our home. If we're not in our home to lead and to teach our children the right way, they said, because we look at it as because they just look at it as for finances. But we also know that as we as men, we provide more sitting in the home than just the finances. We're the disciplinarians, we're the leaders, we the make sure keep the kids in line, and we the make sure keeping your ass in line, and the one with the vision to make sure that we don't fail. Because women, they don't have no vision, they don't have no thoughts. Their thoughts are everywhere.
They thought
Exactly. It's all I felt this way, or I felt this way. It's all off emotion. And it should never be that way. Why? Because that's why. But if they teach us not to be strong, not to be men, then how are we ever gonna know? Yeah. That's however we gonna know. They teaching us to be beta instead of be alpha to lead our households, and that we let our women left up to leading our households, and that's what we living in now. The destruction. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13, 12.
Read.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So there you go, right there. And I can move up too.
Because I like that.
I like it. Okay. Go. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 11. And it reads, I will punish the world for their evil.
We'll punish the world for their evil. And that's what's going on right now. The world is being punished. And so is us, the world of Israel, is being punished for our own evil. Because we steady out here killing each other instead of taking out our own women and doing all these evil things to each other. Read.
And the wicked for their iniquity.
And the wicked for their iniquities, for their sins. King Von. What's that one boy that just died? Mo 3. All them for their iniquity sins. They getting taken out. That was a judgment by the Most High. Read.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
And the arrogance of the proud to cease. So all the ones that's arrogant and proud, that's high above, Donald Trump and all these elites, their pride is going to cease in the day of the Lord. Because they already know. And in that day, will nobody be able to come against the Most High. Read.
And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
And lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. The haughtiness, all the evil doing, all the evil sayings, all the haughty sayings. They will be brought down. What? Read that again.
And they will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
There's the haughtiness of the terrible. How you doing today, brother? You all right, man? You see yourself on the sign, King? Yes. So you already know the tribe with Judah, man. We know we top tribe. So you already know it's time now, man, because it's time to, we out here reaching for souls and looking for the last 5 souls of people, man. You know, we had to wait, and we had to come out here as young men to actually set the standard for people to actually have to look up to. Because now, if you look at our neighborhoods or where we have, there are no more positive role models or nothing ever being displayed as a black man ever, especially now in America today. Any black man that has any type of positivity or good image about him, they had to destroy no matter what. Look how they did Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, whoever. Once they done using you up, what they do, they chew you up and they spit you to the ground. It was all cool, but R. Kelly was hot. And they was making all that music, they were making all that money, but his music was good. They was letting them get away with that stuff, right? Exactly. And then as soon as they... And then as soon as he's not no good to them, as soon as they can't make no more money off him, now they want to take him, and now they want to take and slay him and hang him on the cross for all the things that they let him get away with. But now we can't make no money off you no more, niggas, so we don't need you.
All right. And we just talked about haughtiness, right? Haughtiness is like being like cocky and conceited, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm gonna let you go, brother. Psalms 149. I'm gonna start at the top. No, I'm gonna start at verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people, and he will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing loud upon their beds. Let high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with the fetters of iron. Okay. Go. Where you want? Start from all the way from the top? To execute the vengeance upon the heathen and the punishments upon the people.
The punishment upon the people. The heathen is the other nations. And the punishment is upon our people, because look at us. This is our neighborhood, and we have punishment. If you go and you look into the system on how they was building up the cities, this is called gentrification. That they would put, they gentrified these areas specifically for us to live in these areas, so they put us in here. That's why they made the property taxes either too high or too low. We never really took and put no real money into these areas to build them up, to make the property value high. And these areas, they put it all in what, the suburbs and all these different areas. That's a part of it.
Brother, I thought when you speak the word, you're supposed to come around here.
Yeah, I know.
What scripture that you I'm asking about that too.
I know. Some people, when they hate cover, they cover. The covering, well, that's what's Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 1 and 2. Corinthians 1 and 3, yeah. See, people say, actually the covering is the most high. When people see, like what I was going to say, every man, it was going to scripture say, what, every man, the head of every man is Christ. And every man is God, and we the head of every woman. That's our covering. You know, some people use, some brothers take it and use it as
I was just asking because I heard some people say
yeah. You teach the word, yeah.
Yeah, some brothers have some things about the hair length too. It's not we ain't on.
Hey, yeah, you doing the right thing with that. You good, kid. Yeah. That makes us more masculine and dominant. Like I tell everybody, how do you tell the difference between a female lion and a male lion? By the mane. That's how you do the difference. We are men are supposed to wear grown beards. That's what masculine. That goes back to another thing in slavery. That's why they made us shave our heads bald and shave our heads bald and shave our beards. Why? They call us boy. It was always to break us mentally. It's always been to break the mental. About the time to break the cycle, especially to break us, the black men. Because if we don't, if we're not leaving our households, if we're not there, while people are going to be in destruction, then we're going to be sitting there. Look at our children now. All these women raising these beta males. Exactly. To keep us down. And do the results of that. Look at the society today, the people that and look at our communities and look at our neighborhood. And then these black and then the women want to blame us, but really y'all the ones that's raising these no good brothers. And then y'all the ones that's keeping these men up out of their lives to teach them how to be men and say they don't need no man. That was the whole thing, and then that's why we got give me 817 and 17, man. You give me Sirach 25. And this is the thing, see? And due to that, this is what's going on right now. We gonna raise.
Hey man, we poor but we rich, so.
We rich. Talking about we in a terrible state without man. We ain't got our name where we need to go.
But that's the thing. The only way that's going to happen is that we come back and follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody that's going to sit back and get this word. Everybody that's going to sit up and understand. Our people love Christmas, bro. Our people love Halloween. They can't wait to celebrate it. They love the ways of the world. It's so hard for them to let the ways of the world, especially Eve. We know she not going to do it. Especially now at today's age, she got too much power, man. She not gonna do it. He not gonna do it. You might as well let them go. Like Solomon said, I went out walking through the land looking for his righteous man and women. Out of 1,000 men, I found one. But out of women, I found none. So that let you go. That let you know right now. Hey, I don't know about Eve, King. But what I asked you for, Amos 7 to 17.
Yeah. This is the book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 17. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city.
See that again?
Thy wife shall be a harlot in the city.
Then our wives shall be harlots in the city. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, all this stuff, Miss Mulatto, all this stuff, city girls. That's all you see on TV nowadays. These women don't even respect themselves no more, man.
Read, thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword.
And our sons and our daughters gonna do what?
Fall by the sword.
If I go, our women out here being haughty and they are being controlled and they're being told our sons and our daughters doing what?
Fall by the sword.
I can't make this up if I wanted to, King.
People don't let these entertainers take them straight.
And thy land shall be divided by line. Redline. You know what I'm saying? It's all in there. I don't need one. I know.
Yeah, you remember when rap music first came out, they had Positive Message and stuff?
Yeah.
MTV.
All the songs of the I can get that too.
Positive Message,
Yeah.
they was down.
They had it too.
Soon we started calling each other bitches and hoes and this and that. They started putting it on MTV.
I know, and that was the thing. See, in the '80s, and I was watching the
I
documentary.
thought rap was gonna be a good thing.
I was watching the documentary on that. The only reason why they took rap music over because they saw they could make money out of it, it was lucrative. When it first came out, when Sugar Hill Gang and them all came up,
I'm talking about like when
with Sugar Hill Gang, exactly, KRS-One,
talking about
Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, yeah, Biz Markie and all them. It's all good, bro. Yeah, with Biz Markie and all
that was
them.
the main thing they said they was gonna lead the people towards knowledge.
Exactly, Public
They
Enemy,
had to cut it out.
Public Enemy and all them. Yes, they
Then
did.
they saw they could make a dollar out of it. They really
That's when they came with NWA and all the other. They had to
with
change it.
attitude and shit. They
Nah.
like that better because now you're leading us where they was. And they were leading us towards the truth. They didn't want that.
They never wanted that. Same way with Black Wall
That's
Street.
why the Bible says be careful because they take crowds to counsel against us. They
It's,
study us more than we study
Psalms
ourselves.
83, I just
You know?
brought that out, kid.
They study us and they figure out ways to keep us down.
It definitely is.
It's about design. It's not just about what's
Exactly.
happening. But we gotta wake up.
Exactly.
Like Martin said, we gotta be careful.
Exactly.
We gotta watch it. We gotta study them like they study us.
Exactly. See, if we can't wake up out of the mental captivity, because mental captivity, we were in captivity.
Yeah.
I can come and tell my brother something, but that white man come and tell me he don't believe him.
Exactly.
And I can prove to him what I'm saying, but he'll believe what the white come out the white man mouth because he's white. That's crazy.
Exactly, because we're so accustomed to being love with our slave masters.
And they don't even want to go to heaven unless you feel that white man doing right.
They definitely don't, and they don't understand. And they don't understand. They don't understand that he's not going with us.
We are two now.
They
hurts too.
They don't want to go to heaven without their slave.
Exactly. They
I
don't-
argue with my girl all day long. All she wants to understand is white man's salvation. Don't worry about his salvation. Worry about your own salvation right there.
Exactly.
Revelations
I'm telling
13.
her, why are you
Revelations.
so concerned about him? Whether he going to heaven or not. Worry about us going to heaven. Take your people to heaven and let him take his people.
Right, because
Exactly.
Revelations
You know?
13 and
How they gonna
15,
do
that
it?
leading into captivity, right?
Don't
It's
go
gonna go. And it says that we're gonna bound Satan up for 1,000 years. So
I get tired of them telling me God don't hate nobody. God tell you
Exactly, he
He
does.
hates with a perfect hate.
Yeah, I would say I hate them with a perfect hatred, Romans 9.
That's a serious hate.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
but you want to tell me God talking about love him. God don't love him. Why in the hell
That's
I
I should never love.
and all the nations, like I said earlier, all the nations had their chance to gain their favor, but they disappointed. I mean, what's America doing right now? I mean, if they're so holy and sacred and God loves them too, what are they doing for him? Nothing.
Everything they do, they're doing against God.
Everything they do is going against this Bible.
Approving gay marriage.
Gay marriages and everything.
They separate church and state. Everything they're doing is going away from God.
It's contrary
They're
to
taking you away from God.
Exactly.
And I'm just trying to brother start out. My name's Ron.
Romance.
I'm Gideon, man. Yeah, man. We just come out here. This is our second, third time coming right here.
It's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, come.
We just come out here and try to reach as many people as can. Try to teach you the truth, you know, because
And I'm gonna get somewhere where I can study, but I'm just studying on my own. I get
where the flyers at, E-Man?
Yeah, we got very good classes, man. Very good.
What the flyer? E-Man, you got the flyers?
on my own and whatever.
You want on fire for my little brother right there.
But God been showing me the way. He ain't just
Man,
showing me for nothing.
because the scripture say in the last days, my shepherd shall hear my voice. In that days, the kings will arise. Because that's why we have the people understand that this is only for the real men, the real kings that's actually gonna stand on the front line and die.
I used to be out here right on these streets
Exactly.
right here.
So you already know, and I
Getting
come.
high,
Exactly.
shooting
I
gang bang here.
come from
I got you with that.
I come from the same life. So therefore I understand. So that's why I'm able to come out here and
Won't
be.
do none of that no more once God open your eyes.
Exactly.
All you want to do is save your people.
And that's the
Get
thing.
them to see the light.
And that's the thing I be trying to explain to one of my lady friends. She say, she said, I see the gangster in you and I see the street in you, but you act so different. And I said, because I have not elevated my mind.
It's like that. I don't even need that game.
Exactly, is it?
I walk away from my brother in a minute.
Exactly.
This is the G code though.
Exactly.
Because you got your licks in here.
But I got a zero.
You got violations that you can get in here.
Right.
I got a zero tolerance for the white man with that bullshit.
Yeah, you can't get to.
Let me get something that you were saying about being in these streets like that. It's in the Bible too, obviously.
I figure God uses people like us because we know.
Exactly. Because we the ones that because we gotta come out here to reach the people. Because because what Christ say, you had to come like them. You gotta be like your brother in order for them to accept you. Because if I come and make it seem like I'm above you or I'm higher than you, how am I gonna get you to accept me?
By me being lost so long, I got two boys that's coming up and they lost and they don't want to listen now, but God gonna work it out.
He gonna get them right. Yeah.
Right. So check this out. Isaiah 51:20. It says, "Thy sons have fainted; they lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord and the rebuke of thy God." Man. So we out here in these four corners of this street, and we just mad as hell, mad at each other, mad at our family, mad at our situations. Shoot, and we just letting it loose.
Now we gonna start making this one hour spot.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
I'm gonna bring my family out here and sit down with you guys.
All right.
Oh, okay, good.
You got our flyer, you got our information. It's dead.
Like the camera?
Like you talking to me now. We talking about. That's what's up now.
Yeah, go on, I mean,
The brothers out here trying to teach them, they don't want to listen.
Some
they was close and then they kind of moved.